Hi, and thank you for joining us for this episode of the State of Leadership, Simple and Beyond. That is Robert Hilliard. As you can see, we have a guest today. I will let Robert introduce our guests in just a moment. And I am Whitnie Wiley. We are here on Thursdays talking leadership from at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. So we've got a fun conversation to have with you today with our guests. We're going to be talking about confidence and confidence in leadership. So, Robert, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm excited about this topic. As you know, confidence is something that I work with my clients on as well.
Oh, cool. So why don't we go ahead and you can introduce our guests and then we'll get our conversation going today.
My pleasure. Just let me get myself set up here. Erin Summ is an international confidence transformation coach who supports women entrepreneurs and professionals to help them be confident and bold so they can create their vision for their life, business, and relationships. Erin has been on her own journey from shy to confident since 2008. She is the creator of the Bold Confident Unleashed card deck and journal, the author of Stand Up and Shine, and the 60-Day Confidence Discovery Journal. She is also the co-author of Catch Your Star. Erin holds a bachelor's degree, I up-leveled you there, in psychology, and is a certified professional coach. With that, we'd like to welcome our friend Erin to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Erin. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to have you here. And this is a topic that is, I think, particularly important and timely. We hear, particularly for women, and Robert can talk about this from a male perspective, is not that men don't suffer with confidence, but it seems to impact women sort of in a different way, particularly as it relates to standing up and leading. And so really interested to hear about your journey and becoming more confident, and then how you help your clients to be more confident.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Robert.
Yeah. So Erin, we have a couple of questions to ask you here. I want to start with your journey. So tell us about your journey and what led to you working with women with regards to confidence.
Yeah. So like you said in my bio, I used to be very shy, but I've come a long way in the last at least 15 years. And my whole life, really, like I've known, even since I was a kid, I knew that I was put on the planet for a reason. I was here to make a difference, but I wasn't quite sure how to do that. So I did lots of things, even as a shy kid. I ran a branch of the Kids for Saving Earth Club for a few years, where we did all sorts of different things to help, save the planet and get the word out about how to reduce waste and things like that. So I ran that branch, things like conflict resolution on the playground, things like that. And then as I got older, I did other things to help prevent hate on college campus and different things like that, where I was putting myself out there and leading in my own way, but as a shy person, right? So it's trying to build that confidence as I went through. And in 2008 is when I really started to really bloom and blossom with my confidence. It was that year that I joined passion parties. So I went from super shy to like, hey, let me start a business where I sell things that go buzz in the night, right? So, I know, Robert, I'm trying not to kill you here.
I approve that message.
So I'd gone to some parties, and the woman, same woman doing the parties, kept asking me if I wanted to join her team, and I was like, hell no, I do not want to do that. Like, that is not my thing. I'm not a speaker. I don't sell things. I don't speak. I don't do all the things, and especially not that subject matter, right? But one day something shifted, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to do this. I think I need that getting outside of my comfort zone in order to grow in a big way kind of thing. So I joined and shocked everyone who knew me. Like, you're doing what? And I did that for 5 years, and I grew a team, and I became executive director, which is the highest level, paid level you can get to. And I was almost always, or like quite a few months out of the year, was top in sales on my team. And it really helped me get outside of my own comfort zone and grow my confidence in massive ways. Completely unexpected kind of thing to do. But it really helped me, and it actually helped set me on my path to coaching as well. I knew about coaching, and I loved the idea of it. And I'd seen like shows where they did a lot of coaching and things like that. But I had never met someone who was an actual coach until I started passion parties. And one of my leaders was a coach, and she introduced me to another coach. And, I learned that we have a choice about our own mindset. Like, we have a choice about our thoughts. We can change our thoughts and our beliefs, and we can, believe new things to attract. I learned about the law of attraction and all that kind of thing, which I didn't really understand or know about before. And so meeting her was really my catalyst of like, I think I really want to be a coach too. So I did a lot of coaching with my team and things like that too. But that really helped me to grow my confidence. And so in 2011, I went to school for coaching, and I have a psychology degree too from, a bachelor's degree, but I wanted to get that coaching degree too, to learn how to be a good coach. And so I got that certification in 2012, and here I am.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. It's interesting. Go ahead, Whitney.
No, I was going to say, and as you were sharing your story, it just, I was wondering if you knew you were shy. I've never been shy, so I don't think I've ever asked anyone this question. Did you know you were shy? Had you sort of bought into that label, or did you not know you were shy until an opportunity presented itself and you're like, that's out of my comfort zone sort of thing?
I think I always knew I was shy. I was told by other people that I was shy too. Like I remember specifically a friend from junior high, her mom would say that I was painfully shy. And I hung out with her house all the time. And, I did warm up and stuff, but I remember being in school, like in college and things, and we would have groups where we would have to do projects together. And I was the quiet one. I hardly ever said anything. I hardly ever spoke up because I didn't feel smart. I didn't feel like I had anything to offer. I was afraid of saying something stupid, whatever. I had all these limiting beliefs about myself around my intelligence. And so I just kept quiet. And that was part of my being shy too, and not wanting to be seen and heard. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was going to make a comment about how everything is connected, how you got into coaching through a seemingly disconnected business venture. And then it just led you down this path to where you are right now. So when you were talking about that, and I consider myself what's the word I use? A recovering introvert, right? So I understand where you're coming from with some of what you're saying. And we'll talk about the difference between what men go through and what women go through a little bit later. But what I was going to ask you about the challenges that you faced, just getting over that hump, just trying to break out of your shell from being a shy person to being more confident, and then being a coach that helps people discover their confidence.
Yeah. So, I know some people don't like this phrase, but I use it because it's been true for my life, is fake it till you make it. Right. And I would stand up there in front of these parties and I would pretend to be confident, and people saw through me, of course, because I did it for 5 years. So I did multiple parties with some of the same people, and they would say, oh my gosh, you've come so far in the last year or two or whatever. And they noticed that I was growing and becoming more confident. And even as I started coaching, and, I have videos on YouTube that go back a good 10 years, and you can see as you watch them, the the huge difference of me being like really stiff, it has to be perfect, to how I'm reading the script, to like just popping on and doing a live and, hey guys, I want to talk to you about this today, and just kind of rolling with my thoughts kind of thing. So it's, you know, it's a constant evolution. I'm still working on it. Sometimes I still feel shy sometimes, you know, but more often than not, I'm more willing to get out there, talk to people, get outside my little comfort zone of shyness, and meet people. And you know, I've done many of my own events now too. I've done lots of speaking gigs, and I did a retreat a few years ago, right before COVID, and I want to get back to that. But you know, my very first speaking gig, it was literally like I typed out the entire thing and read it with it right in front of my face, word for word, because I was so terrified. So you know, it's a constant evolution, really.
Fantastic.
I think that's a really important point that you made, Erin, which is that you can be shy in different areas, right? And so sometimes we are may feel like we're shy, and it really is only in one area or with a certain group of people or under certain circumstances, and that's okay. And it, you know, you just continue to do what you're going to do. And the other point you made is it's an evolution. It's a process, right? To work through what you're feeling and being able to stand confidently and boldly in who you are.
Right. Yeah, no, it absolutely is.
I
have to say that to people too, because people think that people that follow me or who come to my events and stuff, they're like, I could never do what you do, Erin, because you're so confident on video, or you're so confident speaking, and blah, blah, blah. And I could never do that because I'm shy, or I'm an introvert or whatever. And I'm like, but I am and was that too. You know, I have worked on myself to be this confident, you know. It didn't just, this isn't natural for me, you know. It's taken a lot of hard work to get here.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. It's funny because when you were talking, so many of the things that you're saying resonate with me, because I was that way too. And I want to ask you, as you were on this journey, and of course you're still on this journey, what hidden strengths did you encounter?
That's a good question. What hidden strengths? I think continuing on past like lots and lots and lots of roadblocks over the years, you know, a lot of people would have given up. I've gone through a couple bouts of health issues that lasted at least a couple years, where I had to take a step back from coaching, and I've come back. You know, just the like tenacity and like continuing on through the obstacles, and really being unstoppable, even if I was stopped for a year or 2 or 3 years. I've continued to come back because I believe so much in what I do, and I love what I do so much. It makes me really happy to be able to really support women with their confidence and their self-worth and all of that. So I think that's a huge strength, is continuing to come back, whether, you know, through the roadblocks, through the obstacles, not letting those get me down.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Whitney, you have anything you want to add to that? So let's talk about this next question. I know I went off script there for a second, but it's such a compelling story. So this show is all about leadership, and we ask this question because we are fascinated with the different answers that we get. So what is your leadership philosophy?
Well, my philosophy. So for me, I really believe that it's all about like just being yourself, and the people will come to you. You'll attract those people that want what you have and need what you have. So being yourself, doing your thing, putting yourself out there, just exactly who you are, right? Like if you go through, for example, my YouTube, my videos, you'll see there's multiple videos with me with giant glasses on, or, you know, Christmas glasses or headbands or crazy sweaters or whatever. Just that, because that's me. I'm silly and I'm goofy. And so people are attracted to that. And the people that are like, you're weirdo, are going to go away, and that's totally fine, you know? But I just feel like being yourself is really, really important, because people are going to be attracted to who you are based on who they are. And you're going to start building your community naturally based on who you are and what you bring to the table. And, for me, I bring a lot of compassion and heart and kindness and love to what I do, because that's who I am. And other people might not be that way. Other people might be a more like hard-edged kind of thing versus soft and fuzzy, and other people might be attracted to that versus who I am, and that's totally fine. We're all different people, and we all have different desires of who we want to spend time with and work with and all that kind of thing. So I think very important is to just be yourself and show up in fully who you are, your authentic self, and not worry about whatever everybody else thinks. Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I third that? I third it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of time in my life too, like trying to fit into this like particular box I think I need to be in, or like be this professional. And it's not to say that I don't conduct myself professionally. That's not what I mean. I mean that I used to be more like stiff and like I had to have everything right and everything perfect. And now just be yourself. Just show up and be you. Be your goofy, self and bubbly self, and you'll attract the right people, and the others will go find somebody else, and that's totally fine. There's plenty of business to go around, right?
It's such a good point. We talk to both entrepreneurs and corporate leaders, and if you are not authentically who you are, your people, whether it's clients or your team members, etc., your community, they will see through that, and it will be difficult for you to build the connection, the relationship that you need to build with people in order to get to a place of trust where people will actually follow you, right? If they think that you're inauthentic, if you're fake, then it's going to be difficult for them to want to follow you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to build that business or your team or whatever it is that you're doing if you're not yourself.
You had said something about wanting to fit in, right? And being, this perfect thing. And I think what hit me was that goes into the whole lack of confidence thing. I know for myself, when I was struggling, and Whitney would never believe that I struggle with confidence, but for myself, it was always like, well, if I'm perfect, people can't say anything about what I'm doing, whether it's my performance or whatever talk I'm giving. Was that going on with you at all, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it was a fear of not enough, fear of being judged, criticized. What are people going to say if I'm not? And also I'm an only child, so perfectionist and a Virgo, so like I got this perfectionist thing coming at me at all angles. So it's been a challenge over the years to let go of that perfection and just show up as me. But honestly, it's like the more I do that, the happier I am, and the more joyful I am, and the more things just come really easily, a lot more easily than like trying to force it and trying to be a perfect thing, which nobody is. Nobody's perfect. That's not a real thing.
Yeah,
so you guys have that other Virgo thing in common, right? Something else in common.
I remember one of the very first videos that we did, and I recorded my video and I sent it to Whitney for some feedback, and she said, it was good. You were just a little stiff. Remember that, because it's that perfectionist thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want everything to be just so, and when you do that, things can come off a bit stiff or cardboardy or like that. But it's like you're saying, just be yourself, and the people that want to be around you will be around you. The people that don't, will go someplace else.
Right. There's plenty, how many billions of people out there on the planet? There's plenty of people to be in your community. There's no lack.
I want to go back to challenges because, and we started out before the show kind of talking about the difference when it comes to confidence between men and women, but I want to talk to you about challenges that you faced, and were there any significant challenges you faced as a woman in this space?
I think, well, sometimes I get the comment or question like, why don't you work with men, or don't you think men don't have confidence, and things like that. So that has been a little bit of a challenge at times. And to me, it's like, well, I am a woman, so I understand women and their confidence. I understand that better than understanding men and what they're struggling with confidence. I feel like, men working with men on their confidence, they understand men better, right? Versus trying to cross the the gender barrier there, where we might not understand each other as well, or what's going on in each other's heads. For me personally, it has nothing to do with, not liking men or not wanting to work with men or anything like that. It's just, I have seen the difference. I used to have men in my groups and stuff and my events and loved it. And it's a very different feeling when it's an all women type of group. We let our guards down more. We're able to really talk, or the women are really able to talk in a much more, I don't know how to say this. They're just more open, I guess. It's a very different feeling than having mixed groups, as I'm sure it is if it's all an all men's group too. And so, for me, it's like I love working with women and watching them together in these groups where we're lifting each other up and we're empowering each other, and it's just like this incredible feeling to be all together as women. So that's been a little bit of a challenge over the years. I've gotten that comment quite a few times, and I just have to come back with it has nothing to do with not, wanting to work with men or liking men or anything like that, or wanting to help them. But I feel like it's a good thing for men to be able to work with men on that subject, because it's a very personal subject. And like we were saying at the beginning before we started, men and women both have issues with confidence, yes, but they're also very different issues. Our brains work differently when it comes to confidence and self-worth and things like that. There's been lots of studies done that show, things like, for example, men applying for a job versus women applying for a job. Men can have 60% or something of the qualifications, and they're like, I got this, they're super confident about it, and they apply for the job. And the women can have 100% of the qualifications, and they still are like, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna get this job. I'm not qualified. And they just spiral in their brain about their worth. And we have all these worth and deserving and I'm not enough and all these kinds of things that spiral in our head. And then we think we can't do this. And we start, kind of backing out. And getting fearful and not feeling like we're good enough. We can't do it. That imposter syndrome kind of thing. I've had clients come to me, lawyers, nurses who've gone into admin, things like that. And they're like, I'm going to get fired any minute. I know they hired the wrong person. I know that they're going to figure it out any second that they hired me, but it's they should have hired someone else and blah, blah, blah. And so, us as women have a lot of mindset stuff that we really need to work on in order to build that confidence.
I wanted to just sort of interject the difference between the genders, and either of you can correct me, Robert, maybe more from a personal anecdotes, but in general, whatever studies you've read, that my sort of assessment, things that I've read, what I've seen, clients, etc., is the difference in how confidence or lack of confidence sort of manifests is different. And as we've said, both genders, right? Everyone has bouts with confidence or lack of confidence. And one of the things that I like to remember and help my clients is that it really is situational, right? There are probably few people for whom they have no confidence about anything. Right.
Right.
And all of us have some strengths, something that we're really good at, that we enjoy, a passion. And when we get involved in it, all of the limiting beliefs and mindset stuff just sort of flies out the window. But, sort of piggybacking on what you said, Erin, about applying for jobs and men not needing all of the qualifications and being willing to put themselves out there, is that what I see is that men, despite not having, they have at least been socialized, I think, to go for it anyway. Whereas women will retreat because doing it scared or doing it anyway may come off as bravado or something that sort of societally has not been embraced for women. And so that's sort of the difference. And again, we all have issues with confidence, and I truly believe it's situational. So there are things where I'm like, yeah, that's really difficult for me, and other areas where I don't even give it a second thought and just go 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Man, you just hit me with a couple of things there. It's very interesting because as you were talking, Whitney, I was thinking of my experience with my guy friends, and the reluctance to admit when they don't feel confidence about something. Like, dude, I know you're not confident because you never did this before. How can but it's this reluctance, and it is how we're socialized. I remember as a kid, my brother taking me to horseback riding, my very first time horseback riding. I'm not a tall guy, and at 12 years old, I was super short. I thought I was going to be getting on a pony. He got a full-grown horse. He's like, get up on there. And I was scared, and he was like, you're not allowed to do that kind of thing. You get up on there and ride like a man. Of course, I was terrified I was going to get thrown or kicked at any moment. But it's this not admitting. We're kind of socialized to not admit when we're not feeling confident. But the first step to overcoming that is to admit that you don't feel confident. You don't feel secure in this. And then you can address it. If you're always, bobbing and weaving and not admitting it, you're never going to, have that, because confidence comes from internally. It's not an external thing, although we look for that stuff externally all the time. So really made a lot of sense to me what you were saying, Whitney. So the last question I'm going to ask you is about mastery. This is our topic. It's one of the pillars of Simple. And I want to ask you, how does mastery fit into what you do and your work?
Yeah. So I think we need to master our mindset. That's really important when it comes to confidence and success and leadership. Because if we're constantly in our head and we're thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm fearful of all these things, of all these limiting beliefs ourselves, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to be able to lead other people. And so it's really important to become aware of what is holding us back. What are our fears? What are our limiting beliefs? We often tend to blame the outer world of, well, I can't make this money, or I can't have the success, or I can't get the relationship or whatever, because, there's, this is wrong with whatever, the economy, there's no good men, there's no whatever, there's all these things, right? And it's almost always what's up here, right? Yeah. It's our mindset, it's our beliefs, it's what's going on up here that's bringing us whatever it is that we're complaining about. We're not having the success or the income or the relationship or whatever. And so what's really important is to be able to master our mindset, master those fears, become aware of, what am I afraid of? What is holding me back? What are those thoughts that are going through my head every single day that are maybe holding me back, maybe stopping those things from coming to me that I'm really wanting, whatever it is that you're looking for. And people don't like to hear that, right? Like, we don't like to hear, like, what do you mean it's me? No, it's everybody else. So, but it's really important to really look at yourself, look at your patterns, look at those beliefs, look at that mindset, and work on those things. Like, where am I holding myself back? What are my beliefs? What's coming out of my mouth when I complain to my friends and family about my life? Is it constantly the same thing about, whatever it is, nobody wants to pay me, or, everybody's broke, or, if it's about relationships, maybe you can't find the right person. What are the complaints coming out of your mouth? And let's take a look at, okay, how am I creating this in my life? Right? And how can I change those thoughts and those beliefs and the words coming out of my mouth, and the things that I'm thinking, so that I can shift my life, so that I can create more of what I want, so that I can become a better leader, right? If we're out here constantly complaining about everything, we're not going to be a very good leader. We're not going to be able to lead other people to what they want, right? That what they're wanting to create, their vision. And so it's really, really important for us to be able to master our thoughts and our beliefs, and really take a good hard look at where am I struggling, and why am I struggling, and how am I creating this? What part is me that's creating this reality in my life?
That's great. Thank you.
Beyond mastering the mindset, what do you believe is, or how do you work with your client to help them actually start to develop a sense of confidence, get to a place where they feel confident, right? Because people are often competent and doing things very well. And you mentioned imposter syndrome earlier, and feel like other people are thinking or feeling some particular way about them, where, like you said, it's in their mind, but in reality, they're doing the things, right? So what is it beyond mindset, if anything, helps people to get to that place where they actually will feel confident and trust in their abilities?
Yeah. So for me, I really feel like worthiness, building up that sense of self-worth, is really, really key to creating that confidence. I think they go hand in hand. So it's that deep sense that, yes, I am worthy of having that wonderful relationship in my life. I'm worthy of having whatever income that I want, and the clients, or the career, or whatever it is that you're wanting in your life, even if it's just like house upgrades, or a car, or whatever, if it's material, or if it's something that you really want to create in your life. It's really comes down to, I think, that self-worth, that, and I am worthy of that. No, I'm not undeserving. No, I'm not, lazy, or whatever it is that we start telling ourselves, right? I am absolutely worthy. And it doesn't matter if I've achieved this or that thing, if I've gotten the to-do list done, if I've reached that certain income level. Brene Brown calls it hustling for worthiness, right? So we think that if we hustle hard enough, then we're going to be worthy. If we reach those big goals, then we'll be worthy. But it's not until then that we do those things, that we acquire those things, then we'll be worthy. But we are inherently worthy no matter what.
Yeah.
So whenever we start telling ourselves, I'm not worthy of that yet, I can't have that because I haven't accomplished this, that, or the other thing, or whatever bar we're setting for ourselves, right? It's like, that's a load of crap. We are worthy all the time. If we have to take a day and just lay in bed and do nothing and watch movies, I'm no less worthy at the end of that day than I was on the day that I was like a rock star, and totally killed it. We're worthy all the time, no matter what. And that's one thing that I really help my women to see, is that it doesn't matter what you've been through in your life. It doesn't matter what you've created or not. It doesn't matter where you are now. You are worthy of everything that you want right now.
It's a great message.
I love that. Right. And particularly for our audience and corporate leaders realizing that the position that you have that comes with responsibilities, and that you can confidently be in your position and not do some of the things that that some leaders do when they're masking a lack of confidence, right? And sometimes the behaviors that we have, the way we treat other people, is because we don't feel like we're worthy of what we have, whether it's the title, the position, etc. If I don't feel worthy and I have it and I'm trying to mask that, maybe I overdo it in the way that I talk to and treat people. And so, taking a look at how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your self-worth, right, could go a long way in helping to make some adjustments. You can modify your behaviors, your words, your actions with other people, right? And I think, again, that goes back to being authentically you, right? And it being okay with acknowledging. You don't have to go shouting it from the rooftops. I don't feel worthy, or I'm not confident in my leadership, but you admit it to yourself so that you can take some actions, right? That you can do some things, whether it's studying, getting a coach, taking some classes, watching YouTube videos, what have you, so that you can make the improvements that you need for yourself.
Yeah. And it's an ever evolving journey, right? Like we don't just like arrive one day, oh, I'm worthy, and I'm never going to feel unworthy again, where it's a constant, like, evolution, roller coaster, whatever you want to call it, where we're always going to have to work on ourselves. We're never going to just arrive and then that's it. We're good for the rest of our lives. We're not going to have to work on ourselves at all, right? So,
no, very good point.
Yeah. When you want to go to the next level, you're going to have to up-level your confidence and up-level that self-worth again too, to start believing that I can have this next thing.
And that's such a good point, right? Every level that you go up, you're going to hit sort of that, I'm in a new place, I'm doing a new thing. Am I worthy here? You may have worked your way to feeling worthy the level below, but you may have to do it again and be okay with that, right? Yeah. Every time you up level, that you may have new limiting beliefs that you have to crash through in order to master the new level in the place that you're at.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm all done, Whitney. I have no more questions to ask.
No more questions.
Awesome. So, Erin, we want to make an opportunity available to you. I know you're working on some things. So if you'd like to share what you're working on and how people can get in touch with you if they're interested in working with you or following you, please let us know.
Yeah. So I'm really easy to find everywhere because I'm the only person with my name on the planet. So if you just look up Erin Summ, you'll find my Facebook or Instagram. And so you can come find me there. I have a Facebook group, Confident Women Community on Facebook. I'd love to have you there. Come and join us. I do, different things in there to help you build your confidence. And one thing that I'm doing that's new and I'm really excited about, we just did the first one last week, is the Empowered Woman Speaker Series. It's monthly. It's 90 minutes a month where I bring on 3 speakers and myself, and we each speak and, about different things to build your confidence and be empowered. Last month, we had someone talk about how one person can make a difference. We talked about late diagnosis ADHD for women, like postmenopausal ADHD diagnosis, and how to transform. And I talked about how to become unstoppable. So it's a really, really great series. Everyone was raving about it afterwards. It went really, really well. So the next one is going to be October 3rd. And I have a link for that as well. If anyone wants to sign up, it's free. And then Whitney is going to be speaking actually in November 7th. So you can come join us and hear Whitney speak as well. We have some really, really, really amazing women speakers on that series that I'm really excited about.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming and sharing. And do you have any closing thoughts about confidence and leadership that you'd like to leave the audience with?
Sure. Just remind you, like when I said at the beginning about being yourself, right? Just show up and be you, do your thing, share your message. Being yourself, your authentic, true self out in the world is going to bring you more than you could ever imagine. And also to remind you that you're inherently worthy no matter what. You do not have to hustle for your worthiness. You are worthy today and every day, no matter what. So just keep telling yourself, I am worthy of everything that I desire. And you will see great changes and great things come into your life.
Awesome. Well, Erin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It was our pleasure. Robert, as we wrap up this week's episode, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they go about doing that?
They can find me at inspireme@roberthilliardcoaching.com, or they can go to roberthilliardcoaching.com and fill out my little contact form there. Let me know the kind of challenges you're having or any goals you have, and we can set up a discovery call to see if we're a good fit.
Awesome. And if you'd like to reach out to me, shiftingintoaction.now.site, shiftingintoaction.now.site, there is an opportunity there for you to schedule a strategy call and a couple of ebooks there that are my gift to you. So avail yourselves of that. Again, we are here on Thursdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. You can watch this on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook in the Shifting into Action, on the Shifting into Action Facebook page. So if you've got a topic that you would like for us to cover, please feel free to drop us a line. We would like to cover the topics that are important to you. And if you're interested in being a guest on the show, want to come on and talk about leadership, how you're leading or how you are helping leaders, we would like to have you as a guest. Just reach out to Robert or I, and we'll talk about how to make that happen. So again, Erin, thank you so much for your time and sharing about your journey and how people can reach you. One more time about the event. I don't think can they get that on your website? The link to the event in October?
Yes, they can get that on my website. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So if you're interested in the event in October, check out Erin's website at erinsumm.com. So until next time, keep leading, lead confidently, and take care.
Bye now.